Will war ever end? Warfare is only an invention, not a biological necessity, by anthropologist Margaret Mead, and A History of Violence, by psychologist Steven Pinker. Some people think like Pinker, that war stems from deep-rooted evolutionary impulses. Others agree with Mead that war is, in her words, a bad invention, rather than a biological necessity or sociological inevitability. Whether you see war as springing primarily from nature or nurture, many people believe that, no, war will never end. War is inevitable, my people, because humans are innately greedy and belligerent. Or because militarism, like capitalism, has become a permanent part of our culture. Or because, even if most of us hate war, warmongers like Hitler and others will always arise, forcing the people being attacked to fight in self-defense. This fatalism is understandable. The US has been at war non-stop since 9/11. Although American troops left Afghanistan a few years ago after 20 years of violent occupation, the US still maintains a global military empire spanning 80 countries and territories. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Hamas and Israel war reinforces our sense that when one war ends, another begins. War fatalism pervades our culture. In The Expanse, a sci-fi series that you may read, a character describes war as a madness that's in our nature. It flares up and subsides but never vanishes for good. I'm afraid that as long as we're human, he says, war will be with us. Fatalism is also wrong morally because it helps perpetuate war. If we think war will never end, we are unlikely to try to end it. We are more likely to maintain armed forces to deter attacks and win wars when they inevitably break out. Did you know that sometimes the best way to achieve peace is to be willing to use military strength? Though the late military historian John Keegan cast doubt on the peace through strength thesis. In his 1993 magnum opus A History of Warfare, Keegan argued that war stems primarily neither from human nature, nor competition for resources, another popular theory, but from the institution of war itself. Preparing for war makes it more than less likely, according to Keegan's analysis. Military spending also diverts resources, ingenuity and energy away from other urgent problems. Globally, all nations collectively spend $2 trillion a year on armed forces, with the US accounting for almost half that amount. That money is dedicated to death and destruction instead of to education, health care, clean energy research and anti-poverty programs. As the non-profit World Beyond War documents, war and militarism severely damage the natural environment, erode civil liberties, and drain our economies. Even the most just war is unjust. During World War II, the US and its allies, the good guys, dropped firebombs and nuclear weapons on civilians. The US is criticizing Russia, rightly so, for killing civilians in Ukraine. But since 9/11, US military operations in Afghanistan, Iraq, Pakistan, Syria and Yemen have resulted in the deaths of more than 387,072 civilians, according to the Costs of War project at Brown University. And soldiers are human, their lives matter too. Russia's attack on Ukraine has exposed war's horrors for all to see. Instead of beefing up our armaments in response to this catastrophe, we should talk about how to create a world in which such bloody conflicts never happen. Ending war won't be easy, but it should be a moral imperative, as much as ending slavery and the subjugation of women. The first step toward ending war is believing it is possible. Please, like and share. Knowledge is power.